Hey everyone, and welcome to my flawless Rockfall Skarn video, sometimes known as a hitless run, sometimes known as a no damage taken run. In this video I will show you how I managed to do a no damage taken solo on a Rockfall Skarn using a hammer. My name is Azzavhar and I am a Dauntless partner. I'll go over some of the hints and tips and what I was looking out for in the fight and what you should look out for in the fight as well. There is a behemoth mastery requirement to defeat this behemoth whilst playing solo and taking no damage. Okay, let's get into it. As soon as you find the Skarn, you'll notice that he's in the floor. There is a certain shape to the way that he is in the floor, with one side being his head. You'll want to position yourself towards his head at first, then pop all three potions: stamina potion, assault potion and blitz potion. Get in line with the behemoth's head, then pop your Shrike instant lantern ability to increase your run speed. Run towards the behemoth head, and you'll want to start the fight using your hammer jump into aerial strike combo, which is run towards, right click and then left click when you're in the air to bring down your hammer onto the behemoth's head. After you get in the first few hits, he will prepare himself to do a push forward or a lunge forward. Just make sure that you're not standing in the way when that happens. You can bring yourself around to the side of him. You'll notice that his stones, which are his armor, will go towards the front, which leaves an opening at the back for you to then do an attack on the legs. And doing damage to the legs as well as the head will add stagger damage, and the objective here is to keep the behemoth staggered as much as possible. So after that initial attack on the head and then the attack on the legs, that should make the behemoth staggered. You can do something with hammers called primed strikes, which is when you left click, you can right click just before the attack lands to load a shell into your hammer to do extra damage. This will take a little bit longer for the hit to strike, but it will do significantly more damage. You can knock the behemoth over with a part break or a stagger. If it's a stagger, you'll see the white bubbles around his head. If it's a part break, it'll usually be stones being smashed away from his armor. From time to time, the Skarn will stand up on his back legs. This attack is interruptible. It kind of depends where you are in your hammer combo. If you're towards the end of the combo and you can put down the right click Aether Slam, the Aether Slam will interrupt the behemoth. So definitely go for the Aether Slam if you can do, to get the extra interrupt. If you're nowhere near the end of the combo, sometimes it's better just to back off. If you do back off, be careful if you go too far back. If you do, when he ground pounds, you can also make a rock spike up from the ground where you're standing as well. So just be careful. I usually dodge roll there, just in case. When he comes back down from standing up on his back legs, he usually pounds the ground 2 times. You can kind of prepare for your next attack by getting in a position where you can run towards his head, use the hammer jump and then the aerial strike on his head there as well. You want to be quite selective with your attacks as well. Keep your eyes on the Skarn's movement. Try not to lock yourself into a hammer combo all the time, because it's really tricky to roll it out of the way if the Skarn decides to attack your direction. I'm also using the Shrike's Lantern here as well, which instant ability gives you 40% movement speed for 6 seconds. And hold ability gives you 15% increased movement speed and attack speed for 15 seconds. Watch out for when the Skarn goes into his enraged form. He will stand still, rocks will appear above him, and then he will blast those out. There will also be a red explosion along the ground. Head towards where you were stood at the time of the explosion. You want to roll out the way when that's heading towards you. After he enters his enraged form, he will then protect himself with loads of stones and do 2 main attacks in this form. One will be a ground pound, which will send out an explosion towards you. Again, make sure you dodge roll out the way. Depending on your distance away from the Skarn as well, there may be a rock that shoots up from the ground at the same time that his feet hit the ground. If you want to be safe, make sure to dodge roll. The second thing that he will do here, he will either shoot out an arm, a leg or his head. There will also be rocks shoot out in that direction as well, so make sure to stay clear. Well, this will then present an opportunity to lay down an attack. So what I do here is try to bait his head to pop out. move out the way, roll back in, lay down some damage with the hammer, hopefully get a stagger. Try to focus all of your attacks on his head if possible, if not, then his legs. I try and pop potions as and when I can do. An assault tonic will increase stagger damage, blitz tonic will increase attack speed, and stamina tonic will increase stamina regen. There is a chance that he may do a Skarn spinner attack. In this particular video you won't see it because the objective is to try and kill the Skarn without the Skarn spinner happening. If he does do the spinner attack, you'll notice a bunch of rocks will form around him. He'll then keep spinning around and draw you closer in towards him until you are hit. The best thing to do here is to have ammo in your hammer. Hold down right click to load up a hammer blast. You can keep holding right click to load more ammo into the blast, and then let the blast go just before you connect with the behemoth. This can be very tricky to do. You have to be very close to the behemoth for the blast to interrupt the attack. This is why I try and avoid this attack happening if possible. It tends to happen if you're towards the back of the behemoth, behind the behemoth. It sometimes triggers this spin attack to happen, to try to avoid being directly behind the behemoth. The build that I use with this fight as well is really important. It's all about speeding up the hammer attacks because by default the hammer attacks are quite slow, which leaves you open to getting hit. So I'll show you what I used to make this hammer hit hard and also fast as well. Ideally you want to be using the potions, the stamina tonic, the assault tonic, and the blitz tonic. And the main perks I'm using here is 6 knockout king, 6 predator, and 6 weighted strikes. Predator will give you an attack boost after not taking damage, which is the whole point of the fight. So 6 predator comes in really handy here. A few other things that I use to help with the fight here as well is etheric attunement, etheric frenzy, agility, evasion, molten, and overpower. Etheric attunement and etheric frenzy help with the lantern charge. Agility keeps the stamina cost low. Evasion gives you a little bit of extra help when evading. Molten increases your attack speed, and overpower increases damage against staggered behemoths. I'm also using the Hellion's Hammer, which unique effect is every 6th hit in a row will deal extra damage. Thank you for watching my how to take no damage on a Rockfall Skarn video. Hopefully this video helps you get the achievement and helps towards that mastery. I'll leave a link to the build that I used in the video description. Let me know how you get on with the challenge. Let me know what build you used. If you want me to make another one of these videos focusing on a different behemoth, let me know. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. If you want to catch me on a live stream and hunt some behemoths together, make sure to follow me on Twitch TV. Twitch TV name is Azzavhar. If you enjoy the content and you want to support me as a content creator, you can use Epic Creator Code Azzavhar when making any purchase on the Epic Games Store. I also have other Dauntless content on YouTube as well, if you'd like to check that out. You can find me on social medias and in the game as Azzavhar. If you want to say hello, I will leave the links in the description to this video. And until next time, take care.